Hello there, Ringside Crew.
Hey dudes at Ringside Crew, this is Davian.
Hey, it's Jenny Santana.
This is Alfie.
This is the Savage Juggernaut, Tamaku.
Inside Ring!
This is Thomas D. Bruff.
This is Billy Starks.
Mr. Chad Epic.
Megan Mason.
Hey everybody, Scotland's own Brody Adelaide.
The headliner in charge, Marco Mania.
This is your girl Charisma.
Papa Dink, Brendan Dicker.
This is According to Woods.
Savannah Summers.
I'm Shorty.
Tasman inside.
You are watching
The internationally known
Dudes at Ringside podcast, hosted by Metal Geek and Joe the Panther Jr.
Hey, hello there, wrestling fans! Welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am your host, Joe the Panther the Third, and now from the top of Metal Mountain, in the middle of the mosh pit, it's the happy heel himself, the Metal Geek.
What's going on, Ringside Crew? What's going on, internationally known? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Joe? How's it going today?
Not too much geek, you know.
Oh, it's just chilling.
Just being Joe Panther the Third, and still on a high about the Jets winning that set against the Bills.
I'm still on a hangover from Stranger Things Day yesterday. You know what I mean?
I know you probably watched the trailer 10,000 times in a row, Geeky.
Yeah.
How many times did you watch that trailer yesterday, man?
I was actually excited that they actually announced the first episode of Stranger Things. It's going to be called The Crawl.
Yeah, I saw that on YouTube. I didn't know if I should take it seriously, or is it like...
That was absolutely legit, by the way. So
they were saying what they think it means.
No. They said that's the title of the episode, The Crawl.
No, they were trying to like break it down.
Decode.
Vinny, welcome to the chat, Vinny. Welcome. He said hi. Vinny, he said hi to you. Right. Geeky, introduce the guests.
All right, let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside. Welcome to our guest tonight, Sugar Shane.
That was terrible. Okay, let me do it better. Let me show you. The hottest pro wrestling manager in the game today, Sugar Shane Pinto. And the first thing I have to say is the Jets suck. Like, I don't understand why you pick the Jets as your favorite team. We all know that the Philadelphia Eagles are winning the Super Bowl this year, okay? Like, we all know it to be a fact. It's because you know, and you know I'm not telling a lie, right? Okay? Okay, you guys got lucky. Hello, folks. How are you guys doing this evening? Thank you for having me.
No problem, Shane.
No problem, dude. No problem.
I knew I could sense greatness as soon as I messaged you on Instagram, so I knew you're the greatest manager of all time. Yeah. So
of all time. Look, I will pay homage to the greats. We got Paul Heyman. We got Bobby the Brain Heenan, Jim Cornette, all fantastic. And I've learned a lot from them, student of the game. But Sugar Shane is going to be taking professional wrestling and being a manager to a whole new level as the years go on. That is a fact.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Shane, who trained you?
Who trained me? Look, I take great pride in saying that I was trained in the greatest professional wrestling school in the province of Quebec at Torture Chamber Pro Wrestling under the tutelage of the great world-traveled Drew Onyx, who has traveled, again, across the world, worked in places like Japan, trained the people at the Performance Center, at the WWE Performance Center, and now is training the greats like myself. I owe him everything. He is fantastic. And what's great is that a few weeks ago, we had a show called Straight Outta Chamber 5, which was a local show curated by Torture Chamber Pro Wrestling, and I have the honor and privilege, of course, to manage the two titans known as Damage Incorporated in their respective bouts. Bjork Hacken, a beast in essence and in name, as he took on Nick McHaggis and won. And then Genesis Johnny North, who was a Canadian professional wrestling legend who went on to go face Drew Onyx and unfortunately lost, but that's fine. That's fine. These two men will now meet, Bjork Hack and Drew Onyx. They will meet for the British Commonwealth Championship next month, a title that was once renowned under the NWA, National Wrestling Alliance. And now what's going to happen is that I am going to show my teacher why we are the future of professional wrestling. Isn't that great? Isn't that a story that writes itself?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Don't you want to
exactly.
come to that show?
Yeah.
I want to make that happen.
Mhm.
I want to make that happen for you guys.
Okay.
If you
Right,
are going to be anywhere in the month of December, it's in Montreal for that show.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Let me
Yeah.
know if you guys need a permission slip or something. If your parents need to sign a waiver, I got you.
I think I may need one.
I can make it happen. I know people.
All right.
I'll have my people call your people.
I think I need to make a phone call actually.
You need to make a phone call to who? Your mom? Your dad? Whomever. I don't mind. I don't mind. If you look, you called me the greatest earlier, and I'm very appreciative of that, okay? But allow me to prove that to you.
Okay.
Come to the show. I'll pay your tickets. I'll make you guys VIP guests to that show.
Okay.
You know what I mean? All you gotta do is literally call, maybe text if your parents know how to use text, and be like, can I please, like, I know, like, usually Sundays are the days that we have, like, you know, dinner and with the family and we make pasta or whatever and we get fat and eat carbs, but that's fine. But can I just miss this one so I can go watch the hottest professional wrestling manager in the game today do his thing? And I'm sure they'll happily oblige.
Yeah, definitely.
He lives with Italians. I don't think they'd be mad. They'd be mad for like a day and then they get over it.
I'm half Italian. Okay,
You'd fit in. You'd fit in.
I don't know if I want to fit in with you, but that's because you're a Jets fan.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joe. I'm a Giants fan. I'm a Giants fan. Man.
You're a what?
I'm a Giants fan.
Okay. I'm gonna talk to my people because they made me do this podcast with a Giants and a Jets fan. Like, for real.
Yeah.
This is what I have to do.
But we can't even say what hockey, like, because you're Canadian. Canadian hockey is really good, but we're both Islanders fans. So.
I don't know. I don't care. Again, I filmed a promo for you folks in the Bell Center. That's just because I know the boss. Okay.
Yeah.
He owes me a few favors. I film stuff, and he gives me money, and I endorse the team. I don't know if the Canadians are doing so well this year. I think they're playing a little bad, in my opinion. But that's fine. That's fine. My team, the Eagles, are going to win the Super Bowl, and then you guys are going to cry, and everything's going to be good to go.
I'm used to crying, so it doesn't faze me anymore.
Why are we getting down this deep and dark subject? Oh my God,
so
Buzzkill. Oh my God, so
okay,
sad.
that's next question before.
Yeah, for real.
So Shane, out of all your clients,
Yeah, Joe, go ahead.
Who would you say? What was that, Geek? What's that? Who would
Go
out
ahead.
of all your
Go ahead.
clients? Which one would you say? Well, Geek. Sorry, what were you saying?
Figure it out. Talk.
Geek. Say something. Oh,
I just said. I said to go ahead. I said go ahead.
Okay.
Joe.
Okay. So, out of all your clients, which one would you say would be like your top priority at this point in your young wrestling career? Like, which one? Would you say
No such thing. No such thing. Everybody has the same equal level of importance when you work with Sugar Shane Pinto and when Sugar Shane Pinto works with you in conjunction. The fact of the matter is there is a top level, there is a standard in which we like to perform at, and we like to exceed said standards. So if we're working together, it's because there's a reason why we're working together, okay? It's because we consider ourselves the top of the food chain. So there's no one who changes in terms of priority. Everyone is A1 until the end. And if they stop making money, I don't work with them anymore. But the fact of the matter is everyone is making those dollar bills, and that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah. So who would you say like it's your inspiration to become a pro wrestling manager? Or
So I've always said this story. I was born August 28th, 1998, which was a Friday.
Mhm.
On Monday, I came home with my father. We watched Monday Night Raw. Stayed up the entire night, not even a word. Just watched. And again, ask me to remember that night. I can't. Obviously, I was 3 days old, excuse me. So that's impossible for me to know. But my father knew at that moment in time, he's taking a liking to this. There's something about this that makes sense. from there, the love of professional wrestling has blossomed and has grown ever since. In terms of being the hottest professional wrestling manager in the game today, I always knew that this, and when I say this, I mean this golden voice that you're hearing right now that's going into your earbuds or whatever you're listening to on, had a power to move things. And that's what it did. And I noticed that other people with similar powers were able to do the same thing. So people like Paul Heyman. First time I saw Paul Heyman, I knew that he had the power to captivate and just grab an audience. And it's not just professional wrestling managers too, right? I'm a big fan of the promo, if you will, in wrestling. So I saw people like Triple H, who a lot of people on this internet wrestling community crap are saying, oh, he was not good. Triple H is the greatest professional wrestler of all time. Like, it doesn't go without saying. He's the GOAT. Cut promos. People like Ric Flair. People like, who's in the media right now, who people are talking about, CM Punk. People like that had the ability to change people's perspective, change people's mind, have them take money out of their own pocket to just sit and listen to them speak. Almost like it's like a priest, like going to church on Sunday, just going there just to sit and listen and just be a part of that. That's what got me into being a professional wrestling manager. And look, in my everyday life, I'm a boss. Outside of being the hottest professional wrestling manager in the game today, I'm a boss. So for me to find parallels with my own professional life and the world of professional wrestling, the roads met at the end of the day. And so it is.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm just.
You're gonna speak. Sorry.
Yeah, Joe. See, this guy, he interrupts me all the time when I'm trying to talk, man.
Completely unprofessional. It's because he's a Jets fan.
Knew it.
This guy, man. But anyway, like I was gonna say, what has been what's your pre-match ritual? You'd say, what do you do before a match to get you ready?
I look in the mirror and I yell. I just look deep into my own eyes and I just scream and I tell myself everything that is the truth, which is I'm the hottest professional wrestling manager in the game today. I just yell that 5 times and then I go. The music hits, whomever, it's not my music, it's the music of my clients. That music hits, I get into the zone and we just go walk out to the ring and go make that money.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
You don't need much. All these people that, that's their prerogative, with the bands and getting all nice and pumped, put water in your hair. Everyone in wrestling has wet hair. Do you ever notice that?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but anyway, put water in the hair and then they go. I like to yell. I just like to feel things. You know what I mean? And then just go.
Have you ever thought about managing a podcast?
By the looks of what you guys are doing, I don't know if that's possible because we can't even manage to get a question going at the same time. You know what I mean? I mean? It's a bit tough. I'm sure I do better than you, but that's fine. In regards to managing a podcast, folks, there is a certain level of expertise that you folks do that I'm very deeply appreciative for. The thing is I don't like hearing other people talk. I just like hearing myself talk, so it might be a little bit hard with having a guest and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We get that.
I can't really interview myself. You know what I mean? I would love to.
Imagine that you could have yourself on 2 separate devices, and you're like have yourself on top, and then have yourself in your main computer.
Isn't that a terrific idea that I just stole?
Oh gosh, there you go.
You're not seeing a cent of it, by the way.
Okay, no.
I'll give credit, like verbal credit, like I'll give you your flowers and stuff,
Yeah.
But aside from that,
is there
Go ahead.
Is there a copyright slip? I mean, come on. Is there a patent on this idea?
People are already doing it as we speak. My people are working on it right now.
Oh man, Joe, you lost your opportunity. There you go, Joe. Right.
What happens when you're live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone looked at your room and said, "Patent done."
Who do you think I'm looking at?
Yeah. Your people.
I have. I'll let you understand something. the greatest lawyer of like all of Quebec is a very close personal family friend of mine. Okay. And I'm going to say hi to her now. Hello. You know exactly who I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Is writing up the contract right now. So there you go.
Sorry, Joe. That's it.
Sorry, Joe. It is what it is.
Light
What
up
happens when
and
you're
I-
a Jets fan? What?
Oh yeah, it happens.
That will be the running gag for this episode.
Yep.
Certainly.
But we practically beat a Canadian team yesterday, so
Who'd you guys play yesterday?
Bills. That's the running joke. They're practically Canadians.
Why is there? How many New York teams do you need?
There's too many.
Like right? Like at least get rid of the Jets. Like of all the teams, get rid of the Jets. What?
We kind of been there a long time.
But they suck.
Came back around. We're pretty good now.
Oh, they came back around. That's good, but they're not winning. Again, why are we not talking about me? I don't want to spend my time talking about the Jets. Anytime I talk about the Jets is when I say they suck.
Okay. So you work with one of the greatest WWF superstars of all time, the Mountie. So you have any stories about the Mountie? Do you want to share?
So just a little backstory. Jacques Rougeau and I are best friends. Okay, we're like this. Jacques Rougeau had a competition-based show called Lutte Academy, and the premise of the show was the top professional wrestlers across our home and native land of Canada coming together with a fan vote. So fans would vote on their favorite professional wrestlers, and then at the end, 4 would be chosen to go to the Nightmare Factory, which is, renowned for being the training facility of Cody Rhodes, Dustin Rhodes, QT Marshall in Atlanta, GA, where there's WWE and AEW, right? So there's that. They would get $5,000 cash, which is great too, because who doesn't want more money? And then an opportunity to be part of AEW's debut in Canada in October. And that was strictly set for professional wrestlers. And yeah, Jacques Rougeau, I reached out to Mr. Rougeau. I sent him a video, and within 5-10 minutes, he called me and he's like, okay, you're going to be on the show or you're going to be on the show. The rest was history after that. I made my professional debut at Lutte Academy in front of 500 people in one of the most revered venues in all of Montreal, where many comedy acts, bands have played and started up. I made my debut there at a sold-out arena, and I've been on every show ever since. The winners were announced at the finale, which is fantastic. It was a great celebration, of course. And yeah, next year, Lutte Academy 2023 will certainly happen. And I'm hearing rumblings that there may or may not be a managerial wing, perhaps. So hopefully we can get that started. And I don't think there would be any other winner in Canada, in the US, besides me. And yes, Jacques Rougeau. Jacques Rougeau is a terrific man. Like I said, we're best friends. We're great. We spent many hours having conversations, discussing all things professional wrestling, learning underneath the wisdom tree that is the Jacques Rougeau name. And he's great. I love him, and he loves me, which is the best too, of course.
I'm going to ask the favorite question now. What is your favorite food?
My favorite food?
Yeah.
My favorite food. Anything that doesn't make me fat. I don't know. Which is impossible because I'm very, Joe, you know, right?
Yeah.
You've been liking all my pictures. It's weird. That's enough. No, but seriously, my favorite food is anything that I cook because I'm multi-talented and I can do anything. So anything that I cook.
Yeah.
What about you?
Favorite food?
I don't care.
It's all about this guy today.
It's Sugar Shane.
Is there any other place in the world that you would like to manage that you had on your list?
The United States of America, certainly. I know that once Sugar Shane goes US, it's over, and it'll be very hard to get me back to Montreal. Once I get to the US, it's over. I've always had a deep, profound appreciation for the British style of professional wrestling as well. Anywhere, I'm ready to go to Europe. I am ready to. The bag is packed to go to the States tomorrow. I'm ready to go to Mexico tomorrow. I'm ready to go to Japan tomorrow. These are all places that I want to go and I will go. Manifesting.
That confident right there. It's confidence.
Certainly.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, we know a lot of people in England, so like we'll name drop you to the promotion we always talk to, Savage.
I should.
The name is Savage Pro Wrestling. They're just starting up. They're a really good promotion. Everybody should definitely check them out, and definitely go follow our friend right here, Sugar Shane. He's the best. He's the greatest, man. He got trained by one of the greatest WWF superstars of all time.
Again, I didn't get trained by Jacques Rougeau. We just have each other on speed dial. That's it.
Yeah, best friend.
We like we're best friends. Like it's like the Giants, or excuse me, the Giants and the Jets being best friends with like being losers. You know what I mean? Like it's the same thing, because you guys are so tightly like knit together. You know what I mean? But yeah, me and Jacques, we don't go way back, but we go way back. You know what I mean? Paisan. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They play in the same stadium. I mean, Joe, right? It's there you go. The Giants and the Jets playing the same.
Let's talk about Shane again, Geek. Let's not talk about the Jets. You know he hates.
Thank you, Joe. You're coming around. Hey, I like you.
Yeah. Geek. Next question.
What has been some of your favorite moments from wrestling?
My favorite moments in professional wrestling. The most recent one happened. Great Outta Chamber 5, as I mentioned earlier, was a terrific experience. It was a sold-out event. Once again, of course, because anywhere that Sugar Shane and his associates go to, you know it's going to be a sold-out event. But that's not just limited to me. There's a lot of factors that go into that, and all due respect to all the other professional wrestlers that are on that card. They're terrific, and they really brought that show. The greatest moment for me was after the show. Was after I was nursing the wounds of self-pity, which is what happens when you lose. But it's fine. It's not a loss. It's just a momentary lapse of victory is what I call it. Anyway, I went to go see one of my people. I went to go see my grandfather after the show, who's seen me perform multiple times, who has seen me work many times before. And his favorite wrestler, his favorite professional wrestler today was someone I managed. Someone that I walked to the ring. His name is Genesis Johnny North. And I had the opportunity to introduce those two forces together, and the magnitude of that situation was immense. To me, the meeting of my grandfather and Genesis Johnny North, to me, was equivalent to the Hogan and Andre Steroff. Wow. The irresistible force and the immutable object. And what I mean by that is this. I'm sure you guys remember maybe seeing that on TV live. I don't know how old you are, but I'm sure you can remember seeing that moment for the first time, right? I remember seeing that. I'm 24 years old. I remember seeing that and being like, what am I witnessing? Like Hogan and Rock. If we do something even more current. Hogan and Rock, they stared off. You remember that moment, right? You feel that right now? Do you feel that?
Yeah.
I'm feeling that right now just talking about that. They met. They shook hands. That was the greatest moment for me because I got to introduce someone who I'm from a wrestling family, okay? Everyone's a wrestling fan. No one ever decided to, say, screw it, I'm gonna go be a professional wrestler or go be a professional wrestling manager besides me. I took that risk upon myself. And now they get to meet each other. My grandfather and his favorite wrestler, I got to make that happen. I got to make that happen. I get to make the people yell and scream and then literally take money out of their pockets to take pictures with me. I get to do that. It's the most beautiful feeling in the world, right? Don't we all want that?
Yeah.
Don't we all want that? Not everyone is as privileged to get that. Not everyone's a Sugar Shane Pinto. I made that happen. I made that happen. And I'll make every dream that I have ever thought in this head come true in professional wrestling. Because I said I would do it. You see that silence?
Yeah.
You feel that?
Yeah.
Feel the goosebumps right there.
Hair standing up on my arms. Jeez.
Look at that, man. I don't know if the cameras can check that out.
You can look, you're holding a baby.
Okay, relax. Look. Okay. I don't want to start making you cry.
He cries easily anyway.
Apparently, you guys both, is that a thing? Again, it's, guys, cry, okay? It's show your emotions. Men cry. I cry. I'm going to cry after this because of this podcast, because this is real. But I'm going to cry because of all the money that I make. I'm going to cry because I have professional wrestling in my life. Mm-hmm. I'm going to cry because, let's face it, the Jets suck, okay?
I know.
And I feel bad for you guys.
Joe, come on, man. You had to be a Jets fan,
guys.
Joe.
It's
Wait,
so
wait,
bad.
wow,
I feel
jeez.
terrible for you. It's unfortunate. It's okay. It's okay. I will convert you to be an Eagles fan. I got you.
I live in Pennsylvania, so I'm halfway there.
What's halfway doing with your life being a Jets fan? Like, are you like, what's wrong?
I grew up on Long Island. I grew up in New York, and then I moved to PA like 15 years ago.
New York really has.
Where do you live in Pennsylvania?
In Pike County.
How far is that from Philadelphia?
Like a 5 or 6 hour ride.
Oh, okay, I don't know how that works, but anyway, you're in Pennsylvania now.
Yep.
When in Rome, do as Romans do, right?
Yeah.
When in Pennsylvania, don't be a Steelers fan.
Yeah, no.
They're garbage. So at least you have the Eagles. Come on.
And they're undefeated.
That's what happens when you have Sugar Shane backing you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
There you go, Joe.
There you go. I make things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Next question, Geekums.
All right. My final question is, what's the biggest advice you ever received is?
In professional wrestling?
Yeah, professional. Yeah.
And in life.
I met Pat Patterson before he passed away.
Hmm.
Walking down the street, opposite sides of one another, opposite sides of the street. And I saw him and I was like, oh my God, that's Pat Patterson. I'm going to go run and go say hi. And I'm not one of those people that takes pictures with celebrities, or I don't do that. It's very transactional. I don't like doing that. But when it's Pat Patterson and he's a legend, you go say hi. I ran across the street, I almost got hit by a bus, and a bus went horn everything, and Pat Patterson saw that this kid who was running across the street, and he was like, oh, he put 2 and 2 together, he's probably seen me, almost got killed going to go see him, and almost got hit by a bus. Anyway, the first thing he said to me was, you wear too much black. So from there, I've added a little bit of color in the wardrobe, and we're good to go. So that's part one of the advice. Part two is when I knew I wanted to be a professional wrestling manager, and I asked him, what should I do? Learn, listen, and never stop talking.
Awesome.
What do you think that means? If I may ask you a question.
I think that means to just don't stop talking. Always keep your mouth open and always keep it going. Keep a conversation going. That's what I think. Geek?
I think it means don't talk, Joe.
No. That was truly a question that I was meaning to pose both of you.
Oh, okay. I think it's
learn from the best.
Yeah.
Listen from the best. Talk shit like the best. If I may permit myself to say one curse word on this podcast.
That's fine.
Learn from the best. Live from the best too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
just from that one moment, and again, it was a very brief conversation that I had with him. You don't need much. I'm sure this man gets bombarded with questions every day, and it must mean different things to different people. To me, it meant learn from the people that you haven't heard from. Learn from the people like the Grand Wizard, who is one of the greatest professional wrestling managers of all time.
Yeah.
Listen to different things like stand-up comedy, and see how they deliver talking. The best promos in the world come from the likes of stand-up comics. Eddie Murphy, Dave Chappelle. These are people who know how to command an audience effortlessly. That, to me, was the best piece of advice I've ever gotten. And it's from, quite possibly, the second greatest mind in professional wrestling. And I don't mean to diminish Pat Patterson's legacy, because he's a legend. But this man worked with Vincent Kennedy McMahon. You understand?
Yeah.
The reason why we're all here, all three of us, because of Vince McMahon. That man was his best friend and worked with him and created what we love. I got to have one moment with him before he passed.
Wow.
Amazing.
And I almost died. So you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I have to. I almost died on that day. So whatever. So that's what I would say. Pat Patterson gave me the best piece of advice.
Where could people find you exactly?
I don't know if I'm feeling to find me. That's kind of weird, you know. But in regards to social networking, you want to follow me, which if you haven't done so already, I don't know what's wrong with you. But at Sugar Shane Pinto on all platforms. All platforms. It's mine. I own the IP. And it's on all platforms. If you want to find me, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook as well. I'm all there.
Okay.
Yeah. And do you have any upcoming shows or?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Yeah.
December 4th is my understanding that it's going to be the next show for Torture Chamber Pro Wrestling, which, as I mentioned earlier, I would happily invite both of you to see the brilliance that is Sugar Shane Pinto in person. The weekend before, if I'm not mistaken, that's November the 26th. I'll be working for a great federation located in Quebec known as FML, where they have given me such a platform and given me such great opportunity in the world of professional wrestling. I'll be working with them as I will be managing one of my clients known as Pink Panthers International, terrific tag team. Followed by, I will, of course, because why wouldn't you give me my own show? I will be hosting Sweet Talks with Sugar Shane with an unannounced guest. So Sweet Talks, just briefly what that is, it's in the style of a Piper's Pit, if you will, or it's a live interview segment, kind of like a podcast, but better than yours, where I interview talent before a match, leading up to a huge event, whatever the case may be. And yeah, it's been a resounding success. That's why they keep having it at every show that FML has. So I'll be doing that evening as well. So the 26th, December 4th. And hey, my calendar's open for 2023 for a specific reason. Okay. Right?
Yeah.
So I can come see you guys, because once the invitation is given, I'm sure it's going to be extended back on your part too, right?
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, definitely. But so Shane, we want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast. We hope to see you in the future, man. Yeah.
Indeed, you will, on the big screen.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I'm Joe Panther
on the
III.
big screen, definitely. I'm the Metal Geek.
And I'm the hottest pro wrestling manager in the game today. Say his name, Sugar Shane Pinto.
And we will catch you in the next one.